research. Parts of the West and the Southwest is becoming drier and drier. Climate change is shifting storms north. Human-caused climate change is already, right now, drying out the Southwest during late winter and early spring, and perhaps even in the summer. New research by a team of Arizona scientists suggests University of Arizona researchers have looked at rainfall data for the region and found that the climate shift is already underway. Storms that would in the past have blessed the Four Corners region with rain and snow instead get steered to our north. The new research supports one of climate change science's key predictions for the region, for the western United States, and perhaps for many other parts of the world, as the jet streams shift north. And that the jet stream, which brings winter storms, will slowly shift to the north as the planet warms. Perhaps not every year will be completely dry, but the shift increases the proportion of years with below average rain and snow as the jet stream shifts to the north. Perhaps for the whole part of the middle United States, it could be drying out. Or this could be the first beginning signs of an Earth or planet becoming sicker, perhaps even dying in the process of. Fewer storms from February through April leads to an earlier start of the dry, windy weather. In some cases, that can lead to earlier snow melt. But the dry winds can also evaporate the snow directly, keeping it out of the region's rivers entirely. This change also leads to an early and much more dangerous wildfire season, as witnessed in California this summer, where there's wildfire season all year long now. California is drying out also. Many parts of the world have more severe droughts already, and they're getting worse. Researchers and scientists say the buildup of greenhouse gases from burning coal, oil, and other fossil fuels is changing the Earth's climate rapidly. Of course, there may be some other dynamics going on here, like a possible pole shift. Anyway, this is a phenomenon, and it's getting worse. Global warming is perhaps not the correct name for it, but many scientists and researchers working on the issue now prefer the term climate change because the results are not evenly distributed around the planet. For instance, or in particular, scientists say we should expect the large deserts that circle the globe at low latitudes, like those found in Mexico or the Middle East, to keep expanding toward the poles. The desertification of the Earth has already begun. That, they say, can be expected to dry out many parts of the United States, particularly in the West and the Southwest. One federal researcher sent shockwaves through the Western water community to 2 years ago with a study suggesting that conditions in the worst droughts of the past century could become the norm or the normal in the next few decades, or at least after the middle of the 21st century. We can expect climate change to create permanent dust bowl conditions in the whole region and in many other regions around the world. The importance of this new research, or these studies, is the evidence it provides that the change is not merely a scenario for the future, but very well may already be underway. Yes, and it appears to be. Climate change is real. Well, there's some other things going on here, like mentioned earlier. But anyway, this really confirms that this pattern has been happening already, perhaps for a number of years now. Other researchers had already found evidence of a large-scale shift in the average position of the jet stream beginning in the 1970s as global warming, or climate change, kicked into high gear. By looking at data from 1955 to 1998 and looking at the period 1978 to 1998 in greater detail, and running computer simulations to rule out any possibilities that the precipitation changes could just simply be happening with normal cycles or phases. No, this is not a normal cycle or phase. Many parts of western regions of the U.S. is beginning to dry out. Like I said, just look at California. In particular, year-round wildfire season now, or in many parts of the western United States, or the Southwest. They've been getting drier for a number of years now, and very observable since at least the year 2000. In other words, the deserts around the world are growing, they're getting bigger. The weather is becoming more extreme day by day, more intense. Just look at Hurricane or Tropical Storm Faye. It set a new record for landfall 4 times. An unprecedented storm. Records are being broken around the world every day in the weather. Strange weather, weird weather, extreme, intense weather. Well, there's more to it actually. It could be a possible pole shift has begun also, which will affect the weather in even more intense, extreme ways. Anyway, something has to give somewhere. Something has to happen, so that all this doesn't go to its maximum conclusion of perhaps a dead world sometime in the future. Anyway, these are more signs, the end times, transition days. A transition is coming. And there are many, many signs.